We keeps it real, expressing how we feel. Whoa. So come on in and feel some tea. Join the Kourtney family. We're about relationships and review, making it fun and just for you. So go with God, let God go with you. It's time for Kourtney and Eddie.
I always put God first.
Hello.
What's going on, guys and gals?
Hello, co-ed family, you guys. We got a special treat for you guys. Did not expect this, but I am so glad that we have the opportunity to connect with who? Karla. Yes. So y'all know on this channel that we love Karla. We have reviewed Married at First Sight season 18 Chicago. And y'all heard our opinions, y'all heard our thoughts, y'all heard our views and everything. And so now we have Karla that we're going to bring to you guys, and we're going to sit down. Let's not call it an interview. This calls, look, talk, chit chat,
a little conversation.
Yeah. So, interview sounds so,
so formal.
Yeah. So let's just make it light and fluffy, and let's just have a good time. So
good energy.
Y'all know she is all about energy.
Yeah, good
okay.
energy.
So yes, we want that good energy. So welcome, Karla.
Hey, what's up?
Hello, Kourtney and Eddie.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
All
We
right.
are great. How are you?
I'm doing so good. The sun is shining in Chicago, so I am happy.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
What is the temperature in Chicago?
Today it's like 45. Yesterday it was like in the 60s, 70s. So it's chilly today.
Wow.
Okay, so it kind of fluctuate. Y'all go y'all go like cold to warm.
Well, it get
Yes, we go from like winter jacket puffer to shorts and like real quick. It changes. Remind me where you guys are at.
We are outside of Birmingham, Alabama.
We in the dirty South.
Ooh, I have not made it down there yet, but I'll have to.
Yeah, come on down, girl. Get some of this cornbread and some greens and a southern cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, please, because I like to eat.
Who gonna cook it?
Huh?
I don't do all the southern
Eddie's
cooking.
gonna take us out for dinner.
Yeah, we're gonna take it out.
That's it.
Y'all
Eddie's taking us out like the gentleman, like the southern charm that he is.
Exactly. Yes. Could you tell it in our dialect where we were from? Did we sound southern, as people say, country?
Yes, you definitely sound southern. I just didn't know from where. So, tell me, do people from different states in the southern states, do they have different dialects, or is it all pretty much the same?
It can vary. If you go to like Louisiana, they can get real. The Cajun accent can be real thick.
Yeah,
and the dialect can be real thick.
They say
so it varies from state to state.
Yeah.
We down here, we all kind of country because when we go north, they look at us like we some kind of alien because the way we speak and talk.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. so yeah, it's very unique.
Do you think I have a Midwestern accent?
I don't know, Karla. Actually, if I didn't think you was from Chicago, I'd probably think you was from California, from the West Coast.
I get that a lot.
Right.
I was born and raised in Chicago.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I was about to ask you that.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. So we're gonna go into our chit chat. Like I said, I don't want it to be an interview, but we do have a couple of questions that we want to ask you. So just if you can just tell us a little bit about your background, how many siblings you have, how you grew up, and you just said that you were born and raised in Chicago. So what was that like, and what was your experience in Chicago? And not to ask too many at one time, but is it a place that you love, or do you want to venture out?
Okay, I'll start from the beginning. So I come from a big family. My two parents are still happily married, and I'm one of six. So I'm the middle child. There's 5 girls and 1 boy, and my brother's the youngest. He's like the baby out of us. We are best friends. So I grew up like hanging out with my sisters all the time. I have lots of cousins, and we're all girls. So all of us always together, hanging out at each other's houses, being outside, riding bikes. Very creative. So we were always dancing, making up dances, making up like scripts so then we can like have recitals for our parents. You know, our parents kind of ignored us because they were too busy gossiping in the kitchen. So we would come and bother them and be like, look at us, look at what we did. And then we would like dance, you know, or just act out a play. Yeah, so I'm very family oriented. And I think that's why I stay in Chicago because my sisters are here, my parents are here, but I do like to travel a lot. So that's what I love about it here is that it's very central in the country. So I
Right.
can easily just like hop on a flight and go either east or west. I do go to Europe a lot
Okay.
and I'm starting to like venture off like, you know, to South America. I dabbled in a little bit.
Okay. Do you travel solo?
I did do my first solo trip. I went to Greece in September.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, what's your favorite city in Europe?
My favorite city in Europe. Okay, I just had this conversation earlier with a girlfriend. She was asking me because she's looking to travel a little bit more.
All right.
So I'll tell you like my 3 like favorite places. So I love going to Greece. I like love it there. I think I'll
Okay.
definitely retire there. If you haven't been to like Athens, it's definitely like a place to go. But I think my favorite island is Mykonos, which is in Greece. And then my favorite city in Europe is probably Barcelona because I feel like it's very similar. There's a lot of similarities to like what I'm used to, like Chicago, and it has like a Miami feel because it's
Oh,
like right up against the water.
hmm.
So it's nice. You kind of get the city feel, and then you get the like tropical, like you're near water, it's hot, but then you still get the city feel. So I like the both.
Okay. One more
And
question.
then
Okay. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
and
Go
then
ahead. Go
Mexico,
ahead.
of course. I love
Okay.
Mexico.
What city you probably highly recommend not to visit?
Not to visit. Oh,
Right.
damn. I love
Yeah.
all the places I go. I feel like I can find beauty in everywhere I go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. So
I will say though, and don't hate me,
Mm,
it's here in the United States. I went to Atlanta once.
mm,
I was fucking hungry. I was hungry.
right.
The chicken wings were like baby wings. I'm like, what? I need
Uh,
some big jumbo wings. I'm like, I'm hungry. What is going on? Everything closed like at 9, 10 p.m. And you have to drive long distances to go anywhere. So I left hungry. So I was not happy.
oh, we have some places here that have some big, huge chicken wings. Sometimes, oh, that's a little too big for a chicken, you
Yeah.
know. Uh,
Like
I
what
get
part of
it.
mm,
what part of Atlanta like were you at? Because when you said was it during the week? Because you said it closed at 9. Like we go to Georgia all the time, we go to Atlanta all the time, and things are always, open late.
Really? Well, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think this was um like when stuff started opening back up after COVID. So maybe
okay,
that's why things were a
right.
little bit different, but maybe I have to give it another chance. I'll give it
Yeah,
another chance.
I will highly recommend you try that one more time, man.
Now the wings may not change
Yeah,
because if
yeah.
it's like in a black area or black owned or something like, we don't like big chicken wings. Like
Yeah,
we
Oh yeah,
don't.
it was. It was like the size of my eyeball. I'm like, I'm
yeah,
hungry.
yeah. You know,
Because a lot of times when they're big, they just don't cook them all the way, and we want to make sure that they're cooked good. So that's why.
That's
oh,
that's that's right. That's right. Okay.
no, when
I'll
they
give it
big
another
like that,
chance.
when they big like that, it's like, dang, you sure that's a chicken or is that
Or
a
turkey.
cow or come on, ain't no
It's an
chicken gonna be that big.
ostrich.
Right, right, right.
All right. So you mentioned your parents. Like, how long have your parents been married, and is that something that you aspired to do because you saw them married for so long? Because sometimes little girls want, that's our dream. We want to grow up and we want to get married. So is that something that you aspire to do because of your parents?
Yeah, my parents have been married for like 39 years. So
Mm.
they met when they were in high school and they've been together ever since. And yeah, I definitely want to get married. I love love. I'm a hopeless romantic. But regardless that my parents have been together for so long, they definitely taught me to never settle and wait for the right one. So, yes, I was definitely spontaneous with getting married at first sight, and I was definitely optimistic. So I definitely didn't go the traditional route, which, I'm sure they wanted for me, but nothing that I really do in life is too traditional. So they weren't too surprised.
Hmm.
Is that camera right in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So let me ask you this. What made you say yes to the process? I like you mentioned this was the non-traditional way of doing it. So what made you say yes, and how did you go about saying, hey, I want to do Married at First Sight? Did you see it on television? So what was that experience like?
Yeah, so my girlfriend told me about it. She's a makeup artist, so we're doing a job together, and she's like, Karla, they're looking for people to sign up for Married at First Sight. And I was like, girl, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't even do online dating. I like in person. I like, just meeting someone and the whole how you gonna go about it, like how you gonna approach me, the flirtation, and then everything that goes with it. I think it's the cutest thing. It's like magic. And so I was like, absolutely not, no way. And also, like, I was like, my dad's gonna kill me. Like, my dad's gonna disown me. There's no way. But then as I was processing these thoughts, I was like, wait, if anything about myself, I don't like to categorize myself or limit my potential and box myself in. So I feel like that alone, the fact that it brought almost like a little bit of fear inside of me, to step outside my comfort zone, to be in front of a camera, to meet someone at Married at First Sight and get married. I was like, this also kind of goes against what I believe that, I should be open to everything, live all, the human experiences and put myself out there. So once I had the conversation with my dad and I told him, like, these are my thoughts. How do you feel about it? Are you going to disown me? Do you still love me? He's like, honestly, Karla, I feel like you've prepared me for this all your life. I don't think there's anything
Mm.
you can say that, would surprise me too much. He trusts me and he trusts that if I decided to do this, it was for my best interest. So once I got my dad's approval, I'm like, okay, I could do this.
Uh, are you the only child that has this type of personality? Just thinking outside the box. Are you the only one, or do you have like a sister? And I know you said you only have one brother, but do
Well,
you?
not necessarily. I definitely, so since we are a big family, like I would say my older sister, the eldest,
Mhm.
she's like, if people think I'm a hippie, I'm like a bougie hippie, if anything. She
Wow.
is so chill and she's so laid back. She's not as, I would say, as spontaneous as I am because she kind of fell into, she got married at a young age, she has children. So I think that definitely like settled her down a little bit.
Mm.
But for the rest of us, yeah, I'm definitely like the one that's out there. Everybody else is more structured, they're more type A, they need a plan. So they keep me in check, which
Okay.
I say they allow me to be my wildest version because they like reel me back.
Mm.
So you mentioned your dad was like, go ahead. So did your mom say anything? Did she approve of it?
I mean, my mom loves everything I do. She lives like vicariously through me. But she did say, don't even tell me, pretend like I did not know. She's like, until you talk to your dad, because I don't want to hear it. So I'm
Mm.
like, okay. But that's how my parents are. They're definitely like a team and they don't go against each other. So they definitely support each other's decisions. I think when it comes to raising a family, which I already know that. But of course, I'm going to tell my mom first because I'm just, she's like another best friend. Like, that's my mom. So I told her, and then, yeah, she supports everything I do.
Okay, great. I love it.
Can I ask a follow-up question
Yeah, baby.
about one? You want to wait?
Oh, we're gonna get to that in
Okay,
a
great.
minute. So let me ask you this. So we saw on the show that you put your stuff in storage. So I think you were saying that your lease was up. So was it like, up immediately? So I mean, just give us a little context on that, because
Yeah.
some people are saying, oh my gosh, Karla is homeless. Y'all talked about David, living in the basement. So
Yeah.
Karla is
And
homeless.
she's sleeping at a bus stop right now. So.
I mean, with all the siblings I got, luckily for me, I never have to sleep on a bus stop. But if you are sleeping on a bus stop, contact me and we will find a solution. Okay?
Look at you then. All
Okay.
right.
But that's how also too, my life, fortunately, it kind of just flows. So when talking to production and figuring out how all of this was gonna go, like the timeline and how things operated, I think it started maybe around March, April, the interview process. And I already knew my lease was going to be up the end of August. And it just so happened my sister is my roommate. So she, at the time, she had gotten engaged. So she was going to be moving out regardless. So we were going to be splitting up and going our own ways. So when I found out the timeline of the wedding or of the show, the process, when I found out the timeline, they told me you'll be getting married around August 18th. And I was like, oh my God, that's my birthday. I was like, how amazing. And then they're like, yeah. And then, you'll go on a honeymoon. We'll come to your house, so they're letting me know the gist of everything. So I did let them know. I said, okay, you're coming to my home to film. You said you have to come back afterwards to show my husband, just to let you know. My lease is going to be up like August 25th. So they said, okay, not a problem, as long as we can go before to see how you live as part of the matchmaking process. We need to make sure that you're living according to what you say. So we have to check it out. So I said, yeah, no problem. So they came to my house. I ended up getting married August 19th. And then, afterwards, after I met Juan, I let him know, like, hey, my lease is actually up. And he said, okay, cool. And I said, yeah, I'm going to be moving out and putting my stuff into storage. My sister is getting married. So she's moving in with her fiance. And he offered to help me move my things into storage. So he was able to come to my apartment, see how I lived, see where I had been living. And I'd been living there for the past 4.5 years. So I had been there for a while, and then, yeah, we moved my things into storage. He was so nice and helped my sister move into her apartment with her fiance. So, I mean, I thought we were in the understanding, seeing where I lived, that we were on the same page. So I don't know how that got lost in translation, but yeah, definitely not homeless, but whoever is, like I said, reach out to me.
Okay, you're gonna have a lot of people that's saying they homeless reaching out to you, Karla. That's a
Oh shit.
that's a
I didn't
big.
think I didn't reach out to Eddie and Kourtney.
No, my sister.
So okay, and we're gonna ask some more follow-up questions on that. So as far as where you are now, we got a chance to see a little bit of it on the show. It looks like the same couch that you're sitting on was filmed.
Yeah.
We actually saw that, yes, and it is white. So how are you loving your new place? It looks nice.
It does.
Thank you. I love it. I'm so comfortable. I loved my other apartment, so I miss it. I'm so sad. And I'm in a different neighborhood as well. So I used to live in River North, and then I moved to West Loop because I switched salons. So I actually live 2 blocks away from my job. So I love convenience. I run late all the time. So I
We can
need to
tell.
be close by because, yeah.
Yeah, we can tell you're the type of person that runs late. There's nothing wrong with that. That's your
Yeah.
lifestyle, baby.
You know,
Yeah, you flow with time. Sometimes
yeah,
time speeds
yeah.
up, sometimes time slows down. So yeah,
There's
flow with it.
grace period. You need grace.
Yeah, that's right.
Everyone needs grace.
Uh, well,
Well, speaking of Juan, and So now Juan said, and he seemed like you were lazy or you like to sleep in and all the things, the things.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little clarification on that? Because one time he was taking a
On the,
bike
he's on the
run.
bike and he calls you like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and he made it seem like you were still in the bed. So
Juan
is
is
that?
silly. He's real silly. I think
Mm,
that's his love language, to be honest. I think he likes to banter a little bit, and I don't think he knows when to bring it back and reel it in, or maybe sometimes go back and speak the truth.
mm,
But yeah, luckily I was recording him record me, and it was 8 a.m. in the morning. But honestly, at the time, if you see in the video, I was giggling because I didn't even take him serious. I was
mm.
like, dude, it's 8 in the morning right now. Like, you left at 5 a.m. How does it make sense that it would be one, like you went on that long of a bike ride? Like, so I didn't even think that far ahead. I didn't think people would take it like that.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely, I mean, I don't wake up at 1 p.m. I wake up quite early at 6:30, and I'm teaching Pilates by 8 a.m. So yeah, that's my life.
So can you please clear up the fact of, is Karla lazy or not?
I am definitely not lazy, but I can be on a Sunday. Yes, after
Oh
working
yeah.
all week, I need a day to decompress. I do my laundry, I watch my movies, and I sit my happy ass on the couch.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. That's, hey, that's needed rest. It's not lazy. You just need that time. So, sometimes
Yeah.
we kind of got an idea that Carla just likes to be lazy. She doesn't like to work. She got, just like what Juan was saying about you or depicting you. So, like she's just
Right.
so carefree that she doesn't like to work, and she doesn't have a place to stay, and she sleeps in late, and she doesn't
Yeah.
have a plan, and she just kind of quit her jobs, carefree, and she just letting life just take it and float her on.
She goes with the
Yeah.
wind.
I mean, I definitely do go with the wind, but at the same time, I do have a certain lifestyle that I like to live, and I know how to maintain that. So I think as long as my bills are paid and, I'm able to do the things that I do, the rest, I don't believe in control. I don't need to control what my life looks like. I'm
Mm,
able to, kind of bend. And if I want to go somewhere, but someone says, hey, actually, I want to go here, I'm like, okay. Because,
okay.
I just
Okay.
don't take life that serious.
Right.
I think you should be able to, yeah, just change a little bit, compromise.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
Eddie's gonna ask a question.
I was until I lost a spot.
So I gave him the spot to ask the question. Okay, so while we get this question,
Okay. All right. All right. We know things didn't work out between you and Juan. Okay. Are y'all still in business together? Or y'all just went y'all separate ways when it came to business?
Um, that's kind of undecided right now after what's been going on. Um, I I wish him all the best, and I
Right.
did come up with Ponchos Ponchos. So
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
come up with the idea, but to me right now, I'm very much, I protect my energy, I protect my space, and I don't really feel like letting anyone in that isn't aligned with me. I don't, it doesn't sound like he has my best intentions.
Hmm.
Um, so I think I will let him keep Ponchos Ponchos,
Hmm.
and, I wish him all the success.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened? What was the shift between you and Juan when it came to business? What made this, you and him go y'all separate ways?
It was my decision.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, I think like I said, I'm just like very protective, and money doesn't mean anything to me. So if you're not a true friend to me and I feel that, or I'm seeing, instead of addressing what people are asking, I feel like there's a lot of deflection and, throwing false information about me out there to kind of distract. from what they were originally asking. I just don't want people like that in my life. So I don't care if we make $1, 100, you can keep it because I rather not surround myself with people like that.
Understandable.
So I know that Juan has been very outspoken on social media. I haven't seen any interviews. I just actually seen him speaking on his social medias about a whole bunch of stuff. And I know you've probably spoken this on different interviews, and I don't want to get into that. But I do want to say, I guess according to what you're saying now, you guys are not on a good speaking term. You're protecting your energy, and you just pretty much are going your separate ways.
Yeah. Yeah. As amicably as possible
And this is something
on
that
my end.
transpired. Okay. And this is something that transpired after filming. This wasn't anything that, like, I guess you guys were both on a good cordial basis, actually communicating and all this stuff. But I guess when he started speaking out on social media, that's when y'all friendship or what you had just kind of like ceased. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, looking back, were there any kind of moments where you realized you and one might not make it? I know he said, he wasn't attracted to you, but I think you're absolutely gorgeous, but to each his own.
Uh,
Um,
Thank you.
I can't say that.
yeah, you can say it. Yeah,
Uh,
he said it plenty of times. Oh, Karla is beautiful. She is beautiful.
I
So
don't. I don't
and
want
I
to.
never,
I don't want to get in trouble. But
no,
yeah,
I
you know
didn't
what I'm
take
saying?
offense to it.
Okay.
Karla is gorgeous. You know,
You're such a gentleman. I love that. Thank
I
you. Thank
appreciate
you
it.
for
Appreciate
checking in with your lady. Yes. No, thank you. I love that. No, I mean, I don't think I ever saw us actually, you know, making it into a marriage. I definitely saw like glimpses of potential. There was moments where I feel we were both vulnerable at the same time and we were connecting and vibing a little bit more than other times, but I don't think there was ever like a long period of time during those 8 weeks where I'm like, okay, I think I can see this, marriage working. I think we'll both say yes on decision day. I think yeah, I was able to see pretty early on throughout the process that
it.
it
Right.
was really hard for us to be vulnerable at the same time.
mm,
Well, I want to ask you this that follow up question. Do you really think Juan was there for the right reasons?
mm, mm.
Mm,
Mm,
that's all I'm gonna say is
okay.
All right. Well,
Just said.
it's
We
it,
read between the lines.
it's a lot in the moan.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's see. So, did you learn anything about yourself, like from this relationship, this marriage? Is it something that you can take away and say, "Hey, I learned this about me. I grew. I expand. Whatever it is."
I learned so much about myself. Um, and I will say, because I said at the end, this was the healthiest relationship. And yes, I understand it was never romantic, but I was the healthiest version of myself during this relationship. I didn't allow what I saw or what I was hearing shift who I am as a person. Um, for the past 4 years, I have been single, and I took that time to really get to know myself and focus on the flaws that I had, which one of them is being communication.
Mm,
I usually, which I feel like we saw early on with that whole, when he told me he forgot about me.
Mm,
Um, I mean, I did keep my bag to myself and make him travel with his own bag. Um, and after that, I think after the honeymoon, I kind of saw the direction that this marriage was going in. And it did drive me a little crazy. I was like, what the hell? Like, what did I get myself into? And we even had a conversation afterwards, and he's like, what can I do to make this relationship better? Like, and I thought to myself, I said, I can't rely on someone else to manage my emotions. I have to be able to manage my own emotions so that I can show up as the best version of myself. So I said, you know what? It's up to me. I need to center myself. I need to go hang out with my family a little bit. I need to center myself. But I'm glad that I was able to, yeah, not shift who I am as a person, not dim my light, and not allow what I was viewing and like seeing, and hearing to change me as a person. Like, I want to stay soft. I want to stay, you know, being in love in life with myself. And also, too, to be quite honest, I think the fact that we were married for a short period of time, and I kind of knew at a certain point it was going to be a no. I was able to kind of just relax into the relationship and truly accept him for who he is. So I think that's why you see that lightness between us, that playfulness, is because I wasn't holding him to these standards of what I saw my husband being. Like, I was able to just be like, okay, let's start out as a friendship. Let me get to know him. Let me see where this goes. And I think that allowed me just to, yeah, accept him for who he is without the judgment, critiques, and the expectations.
Right. Uh, I know it was very important for you to introduce Juan to your father, right? And after the show, and y'all said no, how did your father feel about that?
I warned my dad. I warned
Okay.
him. So they actually didn't air this on the show. But right before I introduced him to my father, because it looks like a gap, right? Like, wait,
Right.
what? Like, where was this shift? How did this happen? I actually had a one-on-one with Dr. Pia, and I was letting her know, like, hey, I'm not really seeing our marriage move forward. There's no romantic connection. We're not going on any dates. We're not really trying outside of what the production is putting together for us. Like, give me some advice. Like, what do I do? I'm ready to tap out and like give up. Like, this man is showing little to no interest in me. So I loved meeting with Dr. Pia. I think she gave me some great advice. And I told her, I don't want to change who I am as a person. I feel like I don't want to bring back that bitterness. I don't want to be resentful towards him. I want to stay in my soft girl era. And she asked me, have you introduced him to your parents yet? And I said, you know what? I have not. And I don't know why. I think that was protection for myself. Because honestly, my parents are so open and they're so loving. I introduce everybody to my parents, whether they're friends. I mean, romantic relationships, I do wait a long period. Like my ex-boyfriend, I waited a year before I introduced him to my parents.
Wow.
I wanted to make sure that it was something serious and not, my dad has 5 girls. He's like, don't be bringing men in and out of this house. It doesn't work like that. Like, we don't play that here. So I felt like with him and I had, with Juan and I felt we had built more of a friendship, so
Hmm.
that's why I felt comfortable bringing him to my parents' house. And I did let my parents know. I said, we haven't evolved romantically, but this is important for me. I do want to take this serious. And if maybe introducing him to my parents helps him see a little bit more of who I am, maybe, just maybe it'll, progress things, or he'll see me in a new light, or I don't know,
Right.
something.
Right.
Something.
I love the fact that you said once you saw it wasn't going to go anywhere, you just kind of like relaxed. You didn't add pressure. And I would have loved if Michelle did the same thing. I think she would just relax, you know what I'm saying, and don't add the pressure and not the stress, because we can kind of see that you kind of just like, I mean, I don't know if you've ever had any stress, because it just seems like you just relax a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not a bad thing. That's actually what we all need to do, because it's only so much you can do about certain stuff. It's like you didn't want to change you and you didn't want to change one. So you saw this is not going to go anywhere. So let's just build this friendship and just relax, because we saw you guys having fun while everybody else
Yeah.
was stressing and getting mad over this and that. Like, y'all were having fun. And to be honest, in the beginning, I thought you guys were going to be a great couple together.
Yeah.
I really did. I was rooting for you both because it looked like a great match. But I love the fact that you said, hey, I just relaxed.
Yeah, I don't stress. I do not stress. I don't have time for that. I don't even allow it. I feel like the moment I have a thought like that wants to bring stress and anxiety, I can recognize it very quickly. And I'm like, that's not how I want to feel. So, if I have to go exercise, if I have to meditate, if I have to talk to my mom or one of my sisters, I do what I have to do. I have the tools that I need to be able to like release that because it serves no purpose in my life.
Cool beans. All right, we're gonna get to the grimy part, as you would say. It was so grimy,
So
grimy.
dirty.
All right, okay. We saw David Madison at the little, I guess you were at the party club, and you know, did you know when Madison lost her phone? Did you know that Madison and David were sneaking around at that time, or you just like you was in the dark?
No, I swear I had no idea. I had no idea. So that night it was just so originally it was when I met Madison up, it was with Alan, David, and some of their friends. I don't know whose friends they were. But maybe like an hour into when I was there, Madison said, let's go to the club. I'm gonna meet another group of friends. So I said, okay, cool. I'm not going to stay with the guys. I'm going to go with you. So I ended up going with her. And then I would say we were there for about an hour. And David showed up, which I mean, I definitely thought that was weird. But I was like, maybe he didn't, he wanted the party to continue. Like, okay, I saw Alan wasn't there, but they said it like nothing, like, oh, Alan went home. So I'm like, oh, okay. But then when they disappeared, I did when they came out of the crowd. So I was like, hey, like where were you guys? But I didn't see anything, so I didn't want to go assuming. I didn't want to add drama, And two, in the past, it's been known people end up hating you for calling people out. So I'm
Right,
like, I'm just going to mind my business. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything because I really didn't. And it wasn't until Michelle asked, that's when the light bulb went off. And I was like, wait, like they did disappear. And I let them know. I was like, they disappeared into the crowd. Like, and she had an excuse, her reason, she lost her phone. So I said, okay, whatever. But this was off camera. Madison and I went roller skating. Um, and we went to breakfast. And I asked her, I said, hey, why do you think Michelle called us out? I thought that was kind of weird how she said, hey, I received this message. Karla and Madison were with David. I was like, why call us out like that? I thought it was a little weird. And I felt like, I don't know, since we were building a friendship, maybe you could have asked me that or gave me like a warning that you're going to ask me that or something. I don't know. I just thought it was weird. So once I told Madison, she's like, yeah, I thought that was weird too. Like, if you're having problems, don't involve me in your mess. So I'm like, oh, okay. So then once I asked Madison, she said she had no clue. So I left it at that. And then I would say maybe like 2 weeks went by, and then that's when the couples retreat happened. And then to come to find out that it was true, that it was Madison, that's why I went in on Madison the way that I did, because I was like, girl, I asked you off cameras, you lied to me in my face. That's not a friend.
right.
And to me, I feel like I cannot lie. So I would have been like, girl, I got something to tell you. Like, actually. So the fact that she told me nothing when I asked her, that's why I was like, okay, this isn't a friendship for me because
Mm,
there's no reason to lie.
right,
Right.
right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I know you called her grimy. Like what you did was grimy. So do you still feel that way today? And do you and Madison have a friendship today?
Yeah, I think that's grimy and dirty. You had so many opportunities to tell the truth. Like, for me, there's just like no reason to lie. I'd rather just speak the truth, deal with, the consequences and move forward. Um, Do I talk to Madison? I'm friendly with everyone. I mean, I'm not gonna hold it against her. Do I call her to go out? No. But when I see her in a public setting, yes, I say hi. I, say a few words. We small talk, but that's about it. I think it's mostly when the cast gets together.
Right.
Yeah,
But yeah,
because
no more roller skating. We ain't roller skating no more.
she roller skate right after life. So it seems as though y'all were close before that because you said I can't trust you anymore. So you guys were close and you're no longer. So it seems like you're more close to Michelle than Madison. So was that the dynamic before, or did you and Michelle start building a friendship after you and Madison kind of like?
No, I think we were all, I would say I was equally close to everyone. But it just so happened like Madison and I went to party together. We went roller skating. So I think those activities made us a little closer because I thought we were I got to know her past. I was sharing my past with her. And it just so happened, I mean, everybody's has different schedules. I mean, in between filming took a lot of our time. And then obviously we still have work, we have our personal lives. So it just so happened at that moment in time, I think Madison and I were becoming a little bit more closer. But I would say I was equally close to everyone. And Michelle, her and I live a few blocks away from each other.
Okay.
So we're always running into each other.
Okay, you want to ask this
Mhm.
question, baby?
Yeah. Well, I know you're gonna say no, but I'm gonna ask you this anyway. Do you approve of Madison and David's relationship? How it went down? How they met each other? I know you're gonna say no. And are you still? I know you're not close with Madison. Do you still talk to David every once in a while? Are y'all close, or do y'all
I don't
speak
talk
to each
to
other?
any of the men without their girls. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't build any type of personal relationship with the husbands.
right,
Did I approve of it then? No. I wish them all the best. I'm not really invested. I
right,
don't, it's just, yeah.
right. He's grinding, right? You just straight
Peace,
grind.
love, and happiness. Yeah, no, that is grimy. That's dirty. That's
Yeah.
dirty.
So if that situation happened to you, if you were Michelle, so how would you handle that situation? Do you think that Michelle overreacted? Do you think that, a lot of people saying, oh my God, she just kept picking and picking and picking until so would you have reacted the same way as Michelle?
That is so interesting. I think the only thing, I don't think I would have cared to do the detective work. I'm very impressed with her investigation.
Oh, no
Her
doubt.
her investigation skills, I'm very impressed. But I don't even think for me it would have even went that far because I probably wouldn't even have even cared. If I noticed some shady shit, I'd be like, whatever. He ain't mine. I don't care. I don't even
Okay.
think I would have thought twice about it. If Juan accidentally sent me a message like that, I would have been like, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so now on a little lighter note. So we know that on what is it? Where are they now? Where are you now? So we noticed that one of the guys that you said you went out with, he was a free spirit like you, and it didn't gel at all.
Why not? Y'all both free spirits. Y'all both go with the wind. Y'all both ET aliens, man. Y'all should have been kicking it like I don't know what.
I swear, I thought the same. He was a great guy. Very handsome, but I do believe opposites attract. And I will say that is one of the positives that I got out of this show. It's not that I'm not structured, because I mean, I definitely have some structure in my life. Obviously, if I'm conducting my own business and I have different, parts that, bring it all in one. But no, I think someone needs to be a little bit more, level and reel it in. We can't both be just gone with the wind. I think,
Yeah, man.
yeah, I was like, like,
But
mm-mm.
this is you as a man. This is your personality. And y'all should just been like jail, man. You probably say, "Ooh, look at that tree. Let's go hug it together." Stuff like that.
I Hugging trees, I could definitely do that with my man. But he just unfortunately, I will say this. So let me rewind a little bit. I did let Juan know what my plan is in life. I do, like, I do have goals for myself. I do want to own my own establishment. I have been running my own business for 5 years now. So there is some type of plan, there is some type of structure. But I also wasn't going to go too into detail with Juan about that because I felt like that's all he cared about. And I was
Mm,
like, okay, I'm not here for a business partner. I'm here for a husband. Like, what else do you want to get to know about me? And this date that I went on, I don't even think he had a year plan. He was just really, fluid. And I was like, okay. So I will say, on a positive, I did learn to be a little bit more vocal about my plans and my goals, and also have longer term goals, like 5 year, 10 year. So I can see further into the future. So I will say that was one of the positives that I took away from my relationship with Juan is just being a little bit more serious.
okay, well, on that note, what are your 5 year plans, the 10 year plans? And you said something about opening a business. What kind of business you trying to open? Is it gonna be in Chicago or is it gonna be out of state? What's your plans?
Yeah, so it's going to be in Chicago. I do want an establishment of my own. It's pretty similar to what I said on the show. I have a whole vision. I want like a wellness, holistic salon Pilates studio, which I did take feedback from the crowd. Maybe I will hire a couple of people, but I want it to be more intimate and yeah, an intimate experience. So I am multifaceted. I do have a lot of like moving pieces in my business, and I love collaborating. So if I can collaborate with other artists to come into my space, whether it's like having different pop-ups, like I am very holistic. So whether it's inviting other sound healers or people to hold retreats like meditations. And I feel like that's something I already do and I collaborate with outside businesses. But if I could have my own establishment where they can actually come to me and we can host these things, I think would be so beautiful. Even all types of artists like painters, candle making, which I think we saw at the Where Are They Now? So be able to provide like sensory experiences. And I also am working on traveling, taking my hair business and traveling so I could be bi-coastal. Right now I'm looking at salons in Arizona and Miami, but if I can go to Europe as well and travel there, I think that's amazing. And that's what I think was hard and I think people didn't understand is I do have ideas and they haven't come into fruition just yet. Some of them have, like collaborating with outside businesses and having me come in and do sound baths. But um, I don't, I like I said, I don't limit my potential. So I can say one thing like, hey, I'm going to go here in 2 months, but life happens. That
Right.
doesn't always happen that way. So that's what I mean. I don't try to plan too far ahead because you just never know where life's going to take you. What if I
Gotcha.
fall in love and he lives in like, I don't know. He lives in Alabama and he says, come live down here. I'm okay with that.
No, you
I'm
won't.
okay with
No, you
sharing
won't.
my life.
No, you would. No, you would. He said, "This is Alabama." Oh, heck no, I'm going.
Hey, if the love of my life is there,
That's
I
right.
will go. I will birth your children
I
and
know that's
I will
right.
make us a real nice home. So that's
All
what I
right,
mean.
then.
I'm just very
Okay.
open to where life takes me. I could have a plan, but is that God's plan? I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah. I
Hey,
love it.
yeah.
I love what you're saying about even traveling, so I love your ideas. I love it. Now, just to throw a little laughter in there. So would you invite and collab with the tantrum? Is that how you pronounce it, with the tantrum expert on the show? You gonna collab with
Um,
her?
I felt so bad for her. One, I did not know that lady. I did not know her before filming. Um, I feel so awful for her experience. I don't think she wants to collab with me. I don't think she
I know
wants
that's right.
anything to do with Married at First Sight. I think she's traumatized. She probably went to therapy after that. I'll give her a sound bath. I don't know if she'll accept it, but I wish her the best, and I
Yeah,
really
we do.
am. I'm sorry for her.
It
Yeah.
does that. I mean, was that experience like weird, or is that something you saw before? You know, like is it always a third party? Like, is she supposed to be right there? I don't know how it works. You
You
know.
know what? I don't think she was supposed to be. I've never done it before. I have
Oh,
seen it before. I've seen it done. I've done my little research, and I actually asked the experts before meeting Juan. I said I want to try tantric yoga, to try to connect with my partner on a deeper level other than sexually, because I did promise, and I told Juan this on the wedding night. I'm I will not be having sex while filming this show. Like, yeah, no, it's just no. We can
Mm.
wait. So tantric yoga was important to me. I don't think she was supposed to be as involved, like blowing on his chest and stuff. I think that was very interesting. I think she should
Sure.
have been more on the sidelines, just watching and guiding. So that's
Uh,
where I'm like, okay, it got a little weird. And
yeah,
Juan and I got a good laugh out of it. We were
I
definitely,
do too.
he was being a good sport, as was I. I think definitely that was more my comfort zone. But yeah, he was a good team player, but unfortunately, she was just a little too involved.
I promise you, I thought she was gonna push you out the way. Get out the way.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my God." But to be fair, there was a lot more to it than what the viewers saw.
Yeah.
So there was like a warm up. It wasn't just like bam, bam. She was wearing underwear. I did look. I
Oh,
did look. She
thank
was wearing
God.
underwear.
Thank
So
God.
I mean, yeah. There was a build up to it though. We slowly progressed into the blowing on the nipples. So it
Uh,
wasn't right away.
did
mm.
she have to come in there with her nightie on? I know. I think she probably could have had some tights or something
Well,
else on.
I agree. I didn't know her, but she did say she's used to doing her lessons completely naked.
Yeah.
And production was like, absolutely not. We're not doing that. Like, this is Lifetime. We're not going there.
So actually, production found her, not you.
Yeah, production found her. I never met that lady. Never
She,
met her.
she sure clapped back though. She
Yeah,
clapped back,
yeah.
boy.
She went on her
I
Instagram.
saw that. I saw that. She went
Yeah.
in. So I'm like, good for you, honey. Good for you.
So let me ask you this. We saw Ike on the show. We saw relationship with Ike and M, and we saw how it went down, how he treated her. So when you actually saw it, what did you feel? You know, as far as Ike treating M that way, like, did you have something to say? How did you, you were right there with it. So what was your experience with watching that?
Yeah, to be honest, I think it's just very unfortunate. I think they are two different people. And I think one is science, kind of like Juan and I. I feel like Juan and I's relationship could have easily went in that direction if
Mhm.
I didn't know how to bring it back. If I didn't have the emotional awareness that hey, this man can only give me what he can give me and don't push forward. I think MM was really in there for the right reasons. She wanted a husband and she was ready to start a life and build a life together. I think, unfortunately, Akechi didn't know how to express himself and he shut down. And I feel like on top of not being able to communicate properly, it just made for like a bad situation. Like I think, separately, like I said, I don't know him. He might be a great person. I know MM, she's amazing. And I think, seeing where she's at now, she was able to find a partner who kind of meshes right there with her. I think they're like on the same wavelength. They're both very outgoing and expressive and in love. They love love. So I think she found her match.
Okay.
Speaking of that, then, Carla, you think M moved too fast to get married to Brandon? Was that too quick?
I think so.
Yeah,
Like,
I
what's
agree.
the rush?
Right.
I think so. But hey, whatever floats their boat.
Yeah.
The fact that they both, that's what I mean. I mean, I'm not married. So, oh, well, I was. But Like I never I people say when you know, you just know. I've never been there, so I don't think I'm one to talk. And
Yeah.
they're still together, so I can't really say anything as far as that goes. They look really happy.
Okay.
So let me ask you this: what was the hardest thing about doing the show, cameras, production, or just the real life of being married? Was it anything hard? Now we know you'll go with the flow, but was it anything just uncomfortable and hard?
Yeah, I think allowing people into my personal space and having that many people around me all the time. Um, I am a little bit more introverted. I know I might be like, a little out there sometimes. When I'm comfortable, I'm comfortable. But
Mhm.
most of the time, I'm at home by myself, either cooking or just like relaxing. So I think having to be open and on when the cameras were around, and I think that's why you see I'm like most of the time I'm just like quiet and observing because that's just who I am naturally most of the time. So I think just having so many people in my personal space, I think that was like the hardest for me is like, okay, why are you touching my stuff? Like, why are you moving that around? Like, I don't want to be on camera all the time. But I also knew that's a decision that I made to be on the show. So it also challenged me. It challenged me, and I think it served me in the more as a benefit than anything. Now I feel like I'm more open and I'm able to allow people in because I built even really strong connections with production. I met amazing people.
No, good deal. Uh, since the show has wrapped, uh, you get a lot of people in your DMs now. A
I
lot of guys.
do. I do. But a lot of positive messages. As far as the men, I don't really entertain that because I need action. I don't need
Uh,
words.
yeah, you got some guys sliding. Hey, baby, I ain't won. I treat you better. So let's go on today in Chicago. And what
Yeah,
you do?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how I feel. Sure, sure, sure. That's what they all say.
Oh man.
So, looking back now, would you still do Married at First Sight if given a second chance? Would you do it again?
I wouldn't. I mean, if I had the chance to go back, I would definitely still do it. Going forward, no, I would not do it again. Like I wouldn't take another opportunity,
Right.
but I'm appreciative of the show. I loved it. Like I said, I learned so much about myself. I was able to meet so many great people. Yeah, I would do it again. And even, at the time, I thought Juan and I were having a good time. I thought we were becoming really good friends and on the same page and supportive of each other. So yeah, I think I did enjoy myself. I had a really good time.
Good. I want to ask you this final question. Like, what advice would you give to a future bride that's coming on Married at First Sight?
Release all expectations. Do not expect anything. And I say that for everyone when it comes to everything in life. If you just go in with an open mind, getting to know this person, asking questions, um, and I think also leave the serious stuff for, maybe like the 1 month mark. And that's the advice that I had given to the wives on the show while filming. I'm like, I think those heavy subjects should come around the 1 month anniversary and not so quick. I think that takes kind of the fun and the lightness out of dating. Like, I feel like you should date your partner always. You should
Right.
bring in that fun, like, and I really do. I know, like, people say, like, I might act really young, but that's why I look so good because I'm not that serious. Like, ain't no stress here. Like I feel like we're so quick to be like adults and so serious, but you could be an adult and also find laughter, like joke around, like play, go hug a tree, go skip. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, like why does life have to be so serious? I don't think it
Yeah.
has to be. So I think if you find that lightness first and find something that bonds you two together, I think that'll make life much easier and the experience of marrying someone at first sight much easier. Like, find, yeah, what connects you to, what similar interests you have, and then slowly start tackling like the serious aspects of life.
I agree.
Yeah,
That's
good
great
advice.
advice.
Yeah,
I
good
mean,
advice.
that is
Yeah,
great. Even not just on Married at First Sight,
life
just
period.
life, like when people are newly dating. So people go in with the hard questions, and sometimes it can turn a man off. Are you ready to have kids? How many it is? Da, 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 da,
That
da.
would turn me
So,
off. I'd be like, God damn. Like,
so
I
yeah,
touch
it's
you.
just you got to go levels. It's levels to it. So I want to say, Carla, we have really and truly enjoyed this sit down and talk. It has
Yeah,
been
we
so much
have.
fun. We enjoy your energy. It's just like it was on Married at First Sight. And yeah, we're gonna miss you on the show. So yeah, you brought so much to it, and we kind of talked about this before we came on. You brought so much to it. Um, and you helped to release the tension that was sometimes in the room. Like, I don't know if they're gonna make some of your facial expressions a meme, but girl,
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That is so funny. All my life, everybody is like, Carla, your face. Like, do you like me? Do you not? Like, what is
Yeah.
everything just reads on my face. And I finally got the opportunity. So I think that was some of my favorite moments is finally being able to see myself as others see me because I don't go through life looking at myself. So I was like, that's funny. I'm fucking funny. I'm like, oh my God. That's what people have been dealing with their whole lives. And my mom even said, she's like, Carla, sometimes your face can look a little crazy and, it can hurt somebody's feelings. And I said, well, Ma, I mean, I just don't know. That's my
yeah,
face. I don't know. I don't
there's
know.
nothing you can do about it.
I
There's
guess it
nothing you
just
can do.
adds to who I am.
Yeah, it
It
does.
does. It really does. I want to think. Don't play poker. Please don't play poker because you have a poor
No,
poker
I
face.
cannot. And poker has numbers, so I definitely will not be playing poker. I'm like,
You know,
uh-uh.
I think even production knew because it's almost like they
Like, put the count
span
right.
on your
Let's
face.
see what she's.
Yeah,
Let's see what she's
and you
talking
was like,
about.
I
Yeah.
saw that, especially when the drama was going on. I said, damn. What? Oh my God, in the kitchen with David, I was
Yes. Yes.
dying the whole time. I was dead. I was dying. I was cracking up. So that's why I'm like, I'm fucking funny. I was laughing. I was laughing. I hope
yeah,
David didn't take offense. Not that I really care, but
yeah,
we're cool. We're all cool.
yeah, he'll be good. So yeah, so we got a chance to see that was going to be the final question. What's up with Carla? But you kind of shared in here. So if you want to kind of share, like, well, where can people find you? We know on Instagram, you shout out your Instagram and anything else that you want to shout out. Your name of your business, for them to come and get
Right.
a, sit down with you to get a
Sound bath. Well.
yeah. So
Yeah.
whatever you want to release, you're welcome to.
Yeah, thank you. So you can find all of my business ventures on carlaj.co. So whether that's hair, Pilates, sound bath, pretty soon I will be doing collaborations for sensory experience, very similar to the candle making class that we did at Where Are They Now? And you can see that on my Instagram, either it's hair by Karla J or just Karla J, which is my personal page.
Awesome,
Hmm.
awesome. Well, like I said, this has been a delight, and thank you so much for sitting down with us. And special thank you to Married at First Sight and your PR team for
Yeah.
setting everything up and having us a chance to get a chance to talk to Carla.
All I want to do is talk to you, child. That's all I want to do. Talk to you and get
We
that
can
that
talk
energy.
anytime. You
Yeah.
guys need to come to Chicago so I can show you around.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we've never been.
Yeah. We
So
never
And
been
I
to
can show
Chicago.
you that I actually cook. So I'll even cook for y'all.
all right, okay, it's a date, girl. Girl.
When's the best time to come to Chicago? Summertime, wintertime?
Spring, summertime, anywhere from like May to October. It's
Okay.
safe.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
awesome.
Well, we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
We're gonna do
Yes,
that.
please do.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would be my pleasure to host
And I
you.
Oh,
want a sound bath for sure. I've never
Yes.
had a
Oh my
sound
God.
bath.
Every morning, I'm like looking at my sound bowl right now. Every morning, I vibe out with my sound bowl. I drink my tea. Yeah, it's a whole vibe. I love slow mornings. So no stress. It's just chill vibes here.
The sound bath. What's the purpose in that? If you don't mind me asking, I'm
Oh
kind of
my God,
eager when
it
it comes to
is okay. I mean, I can go, we need a whole nother session for this because it is the most beautiful thing, but I'll break it down to you.
that.
So, we are energy and we all give off a different frequency. And the sound bowls, they are tuned into the frequency of our bodies. So they naturally slow down your brain waves so that you're able to get into a meditative state. A lot of people are like, oh, I can't, I have a lot of thoughts. I just, I'm always thinking. And what I promise you, 10 minutes into a sound bath, you're just like so zen because it naturally relaxes you. It's called theta state. Your brain goes into a theta state. So it's almost like you're about to go to sleep, but you're awake and you're conscious. So you're just able to flow. It is so beautiful. And the more that you do it, so I
Mm,
explained to you, your body is like an instrument, right? So you got to fine tune that instrument. Sometimes it goes out of balance. Life happens. You're
right.
constantly like ebbing and flowing. So, a sound bath is just a tool that you use to bring you back to center. Just like hugging a tree when you walk barefoot in the grass. It just naturally does something to your body where it releases those stress and you're able to ground and center yourself. So, whether it's hugging a tree, walking through the grass, a sound bath, taking a salt bath with Epsom salt, it's all the same thing. It's just your preference on which tool you want to take to ground yourself.
All right, good deal. I wanted to try that because I deal with anxiety real bad, and I need something to kind of control that, and kind of release that. So,
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. Let's stay in contact because this is honestly, I feel like it's my soul's purpose. Once I gained this knowledge of how to navigate and operate our human bodies, um, that's why I do it for people because there's so many people who are suffering from depression, anxiety, and also just illnesses. I always say unease causes disease.
mm,
So we suppress our emotions
mm,
and your body's trying to tell you something's off, like help me.
all right.
So these are just tools to be able to navigate the stresses of life. So I highly, highly recommend. And even if you can't get an in-person sound bath, you
Mm,
can on Spotify or any like platform, you can look for sound frequencies and just put, it's called like binaural beats. So you can put your headphones in and just make sure you're in a comfortable place and listen to it for about like 20 minutes to 30 minutes to begin with. Because I
right.
understand it could be a little bit overwhelming at first. Your body is not used to being so relaxed, but why that is, you're in fight or flight mode.
Mm,
So focus on your breathing. Anxiety too. Breath work is so amazing. If you learn to take deeper breaths, deeper, longer breaths, your body will naturally relax itself. And then incorporate sound healing with that. You're going to be just as zen out as I am.
Mm.
all right.
I've done
Dang.
it before by listening to it on YouTube, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Never did it in person, and I want to. So yeah,
No, person, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
thank you for
invite
that.
you both. I would love to have you.
We're gonna hold you to that, Carla.
Now your website is. Tell it to me again, and then I'm gonna put it in the description and actually pin it so people can go to it. So give it to us one more time.
It is carlajco.com.
All
Okay.
right, got it. Well, thank you again so much, Carla. We appreciate it, and we look forward to meeting you one day in person.
Thank
Most
you.
definitely.
I love you guys.
I
Thank
love
you
you
for
Love you
too.
too.
having me.
Thank
Uh,
you. Bye bye.
take care.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.